All right, today we're heading deep into the Gardwal Himalayas of India to explore a sacred site that, well, it completely defies the harsh mountain winters. We're talking about a temple with a story that goes all the way back to the Mahabharata and a door that, believe it or not, never, ever closes.
You know, when you think of those famous Himalayan shrines like Kedarnath or Badrinath, they have to shut their doors for half the year. It's just impossible with the snow and the cold. But one of them, Kalpeshwar, stays open for everyone, all year round. So what's the deal? Why this one place? What makes it so different?
Okay, so let's just lay it all out. On one hand, you've got your typical Himalayan pilgrimage, a super tough, high-altitude trek to a massive temple that you can only visit for half the year. And on the other hand, you've got Kalpeshwar. Open all the time, just a gentle walk to get there, and it's all tucked away inside an intimate little cave. It's a total outlier, and the reasons why are this amazing mix of both myth and, just plain geography. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to go way back in time, to a story that's woven right into the epic of the Mahabharata. The real answer to why Kalpeshwar's door always stays open is tied up in the legend of Lord Shiva's hair, his jata.
So, the story kicks off right after the huge, world-changing war of Kurukshetra. The winners, the 5 Pandava brothers, are just weighed down by guilt from all the bloodshed. To find any kind of peace, they know they have to get forgiveness from Lord Shiva himself. But here's the thing, Shiva isn't really interested in seeing them.
So what happens next is this incredible divine game of cat and mouse. The Pandavas are searching everywhere, but Shiva, wanting to test just how serious they are, disguises himself as a bull and hides in a herd. But one of the brothers figures it out. The bull then dives into the ground, only to reappear in 5 different pieces all across the mountains. And this single act, it creates the 5 sacred sites we now know as the Panch Kedar, or the 5 Kedars.
And each of these 5 temples lines up with a part of Shiva's bull form. So the hump appeared at Kedarnath, the arms at Tungnath, you get the idea. But at Kalpeshwar, something totally different showed up, Shiva's matted hair, his jita. This eternal, always flowing feature, that's the mythological key to why it's open all year.
So the myth gives us one piece of the puzzle. But how does that ancient story actually look and feel on the ground today? Let's dive into the physical sanctuary of Kalpeshwar, a place where divinity and the earth literally come together. And this quote, wow, this just nails the entire vibe of the place. You have to forget about giant, gold-plated buildings. The real spirit of Kalpeshwar isn't about being overwhelmed by size. It's about finding this quiet, super-personal connection inside a natural space. And you can really feel that intimacy in the setting itself. I mean, the heart of the temple is a natural cave. It has this modest stone entrance that just kind of melts into the landscape. It's nestled in the beautiful Urgam Valley, surrounded by terraced farms and apple orchards, and you can always hear the Kapganga River flowing nearby. It is a sanctuary in every sense of the word. Now for the simple geographical answer to our big question. At around 2,200 meters, Kalpeshwar is at a much, much lower and more sheltered altitude than the other Kedar temples, which are often way up there above 3,500 meters. And this elevation is absolutely crucial. It puts the temple below the harshest winter snowline, making it physically reachable when the others are just completely buried. So we've got a divine reason and a geographical reason for why it's always open. Let's look at the final piece of this puzzle. The journey itself. Because this isn't some grueling test of endurance, it's more like an open invitation to everyone. The path to get to Kalpeshwar is actually surprisingly straightforward. You start from the big hub of Rishikesh, you travel to the town of Joshimath. From there, a road takes you almost the entire way, right to the village of Urgam. And that just leaves one last little part of the journey to do on foot. And that final step? Get this, it's just a gentle 2 or 3 kilometer walk. This is not a multi-day, high-altitude expedition. It's a beautiful, pleasant trek through a valley, which makes this sacred site so uniquely inclusive for families, for the elderly, for pretty much anyone who isn't up for a really punishing climb. So, let's bring it all together, right? The myth of Shiva's eternal hair, the sheltered geography of the Urgam Valley, and that gentle, easy path, they all combine to create a shrine whose power isn't in being big and loud, but in its quiet, constant presence. And when you break it all down, you can see how these different pieces fit together. The biggest thing, of course, is its year-round access.
But that's only possible because of its deep mythological role, its incredible natural serenity, and that gentle journey it takes to reach it. All of these things work together to create Kalpeshwar's one-of-a-kind spirit.
And for devout pilgrims, Kalpeshwar has one last, really crucial role to play. It's often the fifth and final temple they visit on the Panch Kedar Yatra. It's the place where the entire sacred journey finds its peaceful, quiet, and deeply intimate conclusion.
So it leaves you with this thought, doesn't it? Kalpeshwar isn't the loudest, or the highest, or the grandest of the Himalayan temples. Its power is much more subtle. It seems to teach us that divinity can be found in a quiet cave, that being accessible can be just as holy as overcoming adversity, and that some doors just stay open for anyone at any time. In a world that is constantly shouting for our attention, maybe the greatest power is found in the places that simply whisper.